Alright guys, it's me the Tycoon coming back to you with another review, and this is of Andor Season 2 Overview. So let's get into it. Now I was told that this is the final season of Andor, and I was like, yeah, I wonder how they done that. And then I watched it and understood fully how they done it, so I'll get into that in a little bit. But is this the best sci-fi series out there? Is it the best out of all the Star Wars series? No, it's not. The best series for me in terms of sci-fi is still The Expanse, and the best series in terms of Star Wars is still The Bad Batch. But for me, in terms of live action, Andor Season 2 is definitely the best out of all of the Disney Star Wars that's come out there. Especially if you're a fan of Rogue One, because it told us a completely different story. It told the rebellion from the people who are not Jedi's or Siths, and people didn't care about that because not every they were the chosen few that had that special power. That's not the majority of the galaxy, and it actually showed why the rebellion took place because of how the Empire handled its citizens in across. It just looked at order and done it in a zero tolerance police state manner, even down to what we see. Uh, wow, I mean, this series it went into a lot. Yes, like Andor season 1, it had a slow start. It built up like a roller coaster ride, a slow ascent to the peak, and then it's there ready to hit you with a nosedive straight into the action and giving you all the spoilers and sweet spots and Easter eggs that you want all in one hit. So why is this the last season? And because I thought that Andor being set 5 years before Rogue One and the events of Rogue One will give 5 separate seasons, because that's how they done season 1. When I watched it, in the first 10 seconds I understood. They time jumped. They done a 3 episode story arc and then time jumped by a year, leading up to the final episodes. And during that time period, what they've done, they've separated in each and every story, 1 year story arc, they've separated the 3 main characters from the rebellion, as well as the Empire. So you've got Luthen, Rael, Mon Mothma, and Andor, the main title character from the rebellion, as well as all the offshoots and the side characters from it, who you think will have no impact whatsoever. Why are they even here? And then you realize that they've got a massive role to play. And then you've got the Empire's side. You still got Director Krennic here and there, but you got Dedra Meero and you got Cyril, and part of the master plan that's been in action for over a decade. And what is that master plan? Building the Death Star. And how did they go about doing it? Well, it is fascinating how they've done it. And you see this because they plant the seeds of, well, not just a rebellion, but also that the Empire created themselves. They created the situation by turning a very affluent area into a, well, they've done a lot of things in that area, which is Gorman, a planet which is rich in minerals and resources and so on and so forth. But in particular, one mineral that is going to be essential for the Death Star, and they need to mine it. They can't go into the planet and say, look, we're going to mine this properly, because this is Gorman. Gorman is as wonderful as it can be. It stands by itself. It doesn't, it's the richest part. And of course, they're not going to stand for it. So, and the reason why is because it's pretty much close to the center of the planet. It's going to cause a destabilizing effect that's going to potentially destroy it. And of course, people will resist it at tooth and foot. So what do? They create a master plan. They create a master plan which will create a resistance within. on the planet. And then they use that to their advantage by planting the seeds, planting a resistance, planting all kinds of things so that they can do martial law and just extract without any say-so and have the full galaxy's support. And you saw that with Jeddah as well. You saw it when they mined Calcite, which is the gem that goes into the lightsabers, use it as part of Death Star's firing. It's just really amazing. Now, no doubt, people are going to compare Gorman and their resistance with World War II's France's resistance, Ukraine's resistance, and the Palestinian. You can't deny it. The influences are there. And it's really wonderfully done. You see, in the first 2 arcs, how the resistance is all over the place. Especially in the first 3 episodes, the resistance are fighting against one another. The rebellion could potentially kill itself. And you're seeing that they still haven't found their feet yet. The only one that knows how to do things properly is Luthen. And you see in the final 3 episodes, his backstory, which is a bittersweet ending to the Luthen Rael story. He was a military guy. He knew how to do things. And he knew how to teach it. And that is why the resistance, the rebellion, it got to where it was because of he understood how to lead it in that way. Gaining favor with people within the Empire. And again, this is the great thing about the Empire in Andor. Andor showcases the Empire as not thinking they're the bad guys. They think they're the good guys. They know that they have to control the galaxy, otherwise it's going to be chaos. And you've seen it from that sort of perspective. The problem is that it was built upon evil, which was Emperor Palpatine. And in the Gorman massacre, which happens, which you have to watch, my God, they kept it so grounded in the way how they've done it. No massive fight scenes or anything like that. One shot, done, kind of thing. And you see how the Senate, much of the Senate, is against the Gormans. But Mon Mothma takes a stand and says, no. That's not the case. It is Emperor Palpatine. He's doing all of this. And essentially goes across to the rebellion. Gets into Yavin. They finally set up the base. And you see it's still ragtag. It's not funded properly. It is just on... It can collapse at any moment. And you see that in the final 3 episodes. When you see the council within coming together. You saw that in Rogue One. When they're going to do the final mission. That they're not united. They were never united. They were just a bunch of individuals vying for power in their own small area. While trying to take out the big guys who are united with the same cause. We need order. We need it to be not balanced. We need it to be strict because there's too many different people that will have different interests. And that's what every dictatorship does. You see that in you don't have to look too far. You can look at any military dictatorship. You look at those countries, or you got military dictatorships. Those countries have different tribal people speaking different languages, different values, different everything. So what do? They unite under one cause, one banner, order. This is what you are. Forget everything else. This is what you are. And the series itself is still very haunting. It leaves its impact on you. It really does. And leads into the events of Rogue One seamlessly. And if you go and watch Rogue One straight after the very final episode of Andor, it all comes together. As always, guys, whichever platform you're watching this on, give it a like, give me a subscribe, follow. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you guys don't know how to do that, you'll need to go back to school. So says the Tycoon.